Good morning, Pioneer Ridge. It's Friday morning, May 29th. It's actually still Thursday night, but I was sitting here trying to figure out something funny and uplifting and cute to do for our morning announcements like I have been trying to do. But if I'm being honest, I'm just not feeling it right now. I know if we were at school, I think what we would have done or would be doing is taking a time of silence and reflection with each other to talk about and think about the events that we're seeing unfolding this week. So instead, I think we'll take a moment of silence and reflection together anyway. And if you'll bear with me here a little bit, I tried to write out some of my thoughts for you. It's really hard not to be physically together as a community right now, to support and comfort and lift each other up. Like many of you, we have watched the killing of George Floyd and the aftermath with grief, anger, sadness, horror. The images we see coming out of Minneapolis and St. Paul are difficult, but none so much as the image of Mr. Floyd in his final moments. And in the midst of all this recent trauma are our classmates, students, and staff, specifically those of color. The weight of these events rests heavily on them, and we need to remember to allow space in ourselves and others for this anger and grief, and to take some time to listen, support, and acknowledge each other's experiences in this moment. As a school, as a district, and as a larger communities, we've struggled with issues of racism and bias. The death of George Floyd stands to remind us that there is no finish line for this work. We must continue to work harder and do more together to put an end to racism. And it is in doing this work together that I believe we can create change. We must create change. So even though the halls of Pioneer Ridge are empty right now, we're still one together as a community. We still hold true to our Pioneer Ridge beliefs, and I believe it is in living these beliefs that we can create this change. Every voice will be heard and everyone will be seen. Together, we can collaborate and be solution-focused. All cultures and individuals are to be celebrated and valued. Our environment reflects and nourishes enjoyment for life and for learning. Relationships are at the heart of everything we do, and everyone can learn and grow individually together. I believe we can live these values and these beliefs and make the changes that we need to see. I know in this time of distance learning, it's really hard to feel connected to each other, but we encourage you to reach out. It is in this connection with each other that we will find our hope. Your community of support is still here. You're not alone, Pioneer Ridge. I encourage you to reach out to teachers, paraprofessionals, counselors, administration, any trusted adult you have here at Pioneer Ridge, and reach out to them through email, Google Meets, phone, text, anything virtually, because we are here for you. We believe in you. We believe in change, and we believe together we are stronger. So if you wouldn't mind joining me in this moment of silence and reflection as we reflect on and have that moment of silence together for George Floyd and his family and friends, for all those impacted by his death, for the communities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, for our communities, for each other, and for our country. Please join me. Thank you, Pioneer Ridge. Let's get on with our morning announcements now. Let's see here. A reminder that there is that secondary student survey out there, and that we would encourage you to take that. So if you will go to your announcements and click on that, if you haven't done that, it's a brief Survey Monkey, and we'll be using that to get some feedback on distance learning and some things you might want to consider in case we would have to be back at distance learning for next year. Also, congratulations to our spring week winners from last week. Reagan Halling, Ella Lynch, and Sabrina Grell. And I'm super sorry if I got those last names wrong. Please make sure you email me and give me that phonetic spelling, and I will do much better at that. Congratulations to Mrs. Farrar's advisory for being the champion of the week this week. My glasses are falling down. It is with revelation. It was a revelation for me to find out that you can't refreeze ice cream because the ice crystals change. So congratulations to Mrs. Farrar's advisory for that, and to all of the advisories who competed in that as well. There's some school resources out there. It looks like the Vikings has some stuff going on this summer that they'd encourage you to be on. We will not, this is our final week of our, was our final week of our Pride celebrations and awards, and we want to thank our local businesses and PTO for all the donations they gave us to make this possible. I'd also like to give a big shout out to Mr. Kane. He worked very hard this year to bring you those Pride Awards every week over distance learning, to continue that and mail those out, and to make sure he gathered all those great prizes that you've been enjoying this year. So thanks to Mr. Kane and his Pride Committee for making those Pride Awards so special, as well as the Moose Awards. Thank you. Also, it is Fun Field Trip Friday, and today we are traveling to Italy. So I know this was one of Mrs. Sauer's favorite trips, and it's one I am just hoping someday to get to take. So if you're interested, click on that on your school announcements, and you can take the trip to Italy. Or there are also the past field trips if you missed those as well. So that pretty much ends our morning announcements. I do want to say, please be watching for an email from us regarding next week. Monday and Tuesday will be pickup days for you to drive through and pick up your contents of your school locker, your Phi-Ed locker, and anything else that might be here, your yearbooks. Those will all be available to you next Monday and Tuesday during curbside pickup, and there are some hours there that we will be available. So both you and your parents should be receiving that email. And then in keeping with the tradition, we will have our final wave and send-off on Thursday, when we will be doing a parade at Pioneer Ridge. So we encourage families to drive through, and the staff will be lining our parking lot to see you and wave. We will have 6th grade from 12 to 12:30 on Thursday, 7th grade from 12:30 to 1, and 8th grade from 1 to 1:30. And if you can't make one of those times, feel free, if you can't make your grade level time, feel free to come to any of those times. But we'll be there as a staff, social distancing, and we want to see you and send you off as we always do. So again, watch the emails for more details on that. But that's how we're going to end our year, and can't wait to see you again in August. So again, Pioneer Ridge, thank you for bearing with me tonight and for taking that moment of reflection. And I encourage you to continue to think of your classmates, to think of your teachers, to think of your communities, and think about how you can be that change. Thanks, and have a great day.